Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, we're doing the patented breakdown of the cursed Masquerade path, which has just come out. Also, before we dive into that, let me also quickly mention, because I don't think I've mention it in a video specifically, that we do have an extra legendary event for Ancient Shards on today. We knew there was one coming, but we didn't know what type of shard it was going to be for. So it is for Ancients. This honestly is a great event, right? I explain this every time, just in case there's new players, but right, because you can play around your mercy system. So once you hit 200 summons, because you got a stacking 5% per shard to get a legendary, at 220 summons, you've got a 100% chance, which means that if you're close to this, right, let's say you are 150 summons without a legendary, that means you could pull 70 shards and definitely get a legendary, and in fact, definitely get two, in which case it's really good. I would say, rough rule of thumb, if you can do this with 100 to maybe 120 shards, it's probably a pretty darn good idea. Um, for me, it's not possible for me to do, so I'm not going to be doing it, unfortunately. But it is a great event and one that you can play around. You could take the gamble with less shards. I don't ever recommend that. But I love this event for someone who's saved up a ton of shards, or if you were really unlucky in previous shard events, it's just fantastic. So, a brilliant one to play around. Interestingly enough, we had a cursed masquerade path starting, and I really, really, really strongly expected that pulling shards for this event would be part of this cursed masquerade path. But if you look at the ways to get score, upgrading champions, so champion training, artifact enhancement, and I think that's Soulstone Rush, or maybe Soul Chase. Let's double check that. But that's actually, yeah, Soulstone. It is Soulstone Rush. It's based off the type of Soulstone you pull. There are no shards actually tied into this event, which to me is actually a pretty big surprise. That is a real big surprise, and I think it's a great change as well. So to briefly talk about this, I'm expecting this event to be quite expensive, just initial thoughts, because I think each of these different things is quite doable. These are usually some of your biggest sources of this event. So soulstones give a decent chunk of points, though getting good soulstones is going to be tricky, but that's sort of a flat amount. I'd say that's not going to give you too many, but you can pull your soulstones here. It's probably likely to be one of the better events for that. Upgrading artifacts, this depends really on how much silver you have. And then champion training is just a big grind that just mostly depends on energy. So yeah, this event, it's sort of a big energy and silver sink and grind. Um, that's one of the easier ways to do it. I mean, when it's locked behind shards, it's like mostly locked behind again, either saving shards for months or whipping out the credit card. This one, at least in terms of the events, is more accessible. I think it's one of the first times we've done three. So honestly, initial thoughts without breaking down the point requirements is this seems like a pretty positive move. We'll see. And again, if we take an initial look at the event, how does it look? So coming up here, we've sort of got two sides to the event that are quite separate. And there's also these Titan event coins or points. What are they called? Halloween points are sprinkled around both sides of it. So this could be very important. If you want to do the Titan event, get the Sun Wukong souls, right? It might be very, very important. In fact, it's likely to be very important to try to grab as many of these points as possible. So that's going to be one of our ways through it. We've got some Chaos Ores there, some epic skill tomes for a cheaper path through. Down here, you actually got a bunch of great rewards just beyond these points that you could pick and choose. And I believe as long as you get like one of these, you can go then through any other path. You do start out with one key. You could use that key right here and go down this middle path where you've got legendary skill tomes and actually Scarlet Masquerade Kale skin for 3,000 or Bloodveil Madame Sarah skin for 15,000. That leads to a legendary book, and then after that you can grab another two keys. With those keys you can unlock these side paths which contain either this unknown champion name avatar or unknown champion name avatar 2. These are like the two Halloween. I think it's quite likely, by the way, these Halloween champions, I think it's quite likely they're a duo. Seems fairly likely in the sense of like a Countess Lix Astralon type of duo. I'd imagine that one of them will be the fusion and one of them will just happen to come from shards, or perhaps like Jetney Alsgore. Maybe one of these will be a guaranteed champion at some point. We'll have to see. No idea what their kits are or anything yet. But yeah, anyway, their avatars, whatever their names are available here. Not the champions or skins, but avatars. Um, with 2 mythical skill tomes as well. So yeah, honestly, I'm loving this event in terms of layout. There's really good rewards, I think, sprinkled throughout to get. It seems like there's a ton of different paths you can go for. A lot of optional rewards. Like, do you care about avatars? If yes, there you go. If no, no. Do you care about these individual skins? If yes, then okay, you can go get them. If you don't care, you can skip them. Do you care about mythical tomes? Do you want to get the legendary? So there's options. Like, it's not, I suppose, super perfect, but man, I think it's actually honestly pretty darn good. If we look at the skins specifically, actually, they're both dark elf. So for Kale, I actually won this skin myself in, I think it was a tournament at some point. Also, I'm floating. Also, the skin's invisible. Um, it's a pretty cool skin, right? It's pretty cool. A lot of you probably started with Kale. I didn't, and he might be relevant for you. So this is hard to get, but it's a pretty fun thing. If you're like a newer player, if you're a spender especially, that you could go and get this probably reasonably easily. And it's a cool skin, so I think that's kind of neat. Madame Ceres, this is a champion that has certainly fallen out of the meta. Maybe with the polymorph nerf, she'll come back a bit. Certainly earlier game, much like Hale, she's insanely good. But this is actually her legendary type skin. I can't remember. Iconic? They've got different names for the tiers of skin. I don't know. I think this one previously was only available to sell for selling. Maybe that's wrong. I think one of these was available in a tournament and one of them was available in the shop. I'm not 100% sure which is which. I think they're both cool. Actually, I like both of her skins. This one is the demonic, cool. This one is like the sexy put it in ads for the game skin, you know? The little banner ads like play raid now, meet sexy girls. That sort of skin. But I mean honestly the visual, the special effects swirling around, those are really cool. So this skin is cool. I actually kind of want to get it. I think it's pretty awesome. So that is cool. Let's jump over here. This is all of it put into one Photoshop document so you can see the whole thing. I've picked out sort of 3 potential paths, but honestly, the truth is that there's lots of different ways you can go, and I'll briefly mention a lot of the different options. So the first path we'll touch on, I'm going to call the yellow path, right? Yellow path, this is pretty straightforward. This is going, okay, I think the Sun Wukong Soul is my #1 priority. That's going to give me the most power on my account because I think it's very, very good. Big for Arena, could be really nice for Hydra as well. I want to make sure I get that soul. I want to lock it in. Yellow path, right? Coming in, very simple. Up the top here, I think the gems are the best thing. And then on this side, I think oils are much better than the tiny, insignificant amount of silver. I mean, gems straightforward. 40 gems is 130 energy. It's a full refill, so 20 is more than 50. Yeah, and then you grab the points in the middle. Then you do have to go through all these sides. It is actually fairly pricey, though. This one is not cheap. So this yellow path is actually, it's a lot. These first couple of tiers are very cheap, but then you've got a lot of fairly medium pricey stuff here, and you've got to grab everything. So it actually really does add up. It's going to cost you slightly less. This left-hand side, 21,750. The right-hand side is more expensive because you've got a legendary Chaos Ore instead of an epic one. That's going to cost you 23,750. So 45,500 points overall to do all of this, which again, that's pretty substantial, right? So that's going to take you a fairly big grind. I don't think it's going to be easy, but you've got multiple ways to get there. I mean, even if we put it fairly ruthlessly in terms of soul stones alone, like that's going to be pretty rough. Like 45,000, like you're talking, what, like 30 something immortals? You're talking, what, about 6 eternals or something like that? Like that's a ton of points, right? It's an absolute ton of points. So this is what is a little bit of a concern with this event is because they've given you a lot of great ways to get points. It's all going to be pretty pricey. Next up, we've got what I'm going to call the red path, which is I want me want mythical, me no care about nothing else. That's how we're going to do it, as cheap as possible. So simple enough. We're going to come down, start with the gems because the gems are the best. Then grab the book. You could grab the chaos, the Warhammers as well. It doesn't really matter. Come down with the epic tome and the points because it's the cheapest way through. Then we're going to come over here, grab the void shard because it's cheap. And down, get this portrait, open it up with our key, come grab a mythical tome, grab a key, then come over here. Again, because we've got this, we should be able to go all the way over, grab the primal shard, because we care about mythicals, open up the other key, grab the other avatar, and grab the mythical skill tome. So this way we get both mythical skill tomes. You could again tweak this path slightly. So I think a smart thing to do would be, okay, I'll pay an extra 500 to not take a rare book and actually take the event points instead. That seems like a pretty good idea. Um, if you can muster it, switching an epic skill tome for a 6-star legendary chaos ore is significantly better as well. So that's somewhat worth it. But yeah, I mean, you got some flexibility, and then you can still come down. You could grab these, like these essence are pretty good. These big oils, superior oils, are pretty good as well. So you can do other stuff along the way. But it is, again, it's pricey. So it's going to cost you 40,000 to do this right hand path, right? And then an extra 30,000 to come down here. Most of the points, of course, being in that mythical skill tome. It's going to cost you 70,000 points altogether. So it's an interesting one. It's not quite double, but what, 1.5 times as expensive as grabbing all the event points. You can instead go skip some event points and get yourself a couple of avatars and a couple of mythical skill tomes. That's certainly a one potential path through as well, right? Maybe you've got Lady Mikage. Personally, for me, I will say I'm not in a rush to get Lady Mikage. It is, she's obviously a champion. I think it's really solid. One of the best ally attackers in the game, if not the best, right? It's her or Cardio. Really, like she's way up there. But like I'm still missing champions, so I'm still waiting for shard events. And then I'm going to be trying to fuse these up. Oh, I can actually fuse up this one. It's quite sad. I had a bunch of extra fire guns from messing up the Emic Trunkart fusion, but I fed them all, and now she's needed. So the one I actually wanted to keep, a 6-star, she's going to be gone. But yeah, and oh, I need another Enda because I want to feed that Enda, and I prefer not to feed it. So I really need to pull a lot of champs to get this. I'm not going to rush it, but yeah, I mean, getting the skill tomes for her, if you have her or if you're close to getting her, is kind of nice. That's an interesting path. And then we also have what I call the you guys were hoping, you know, I'm always drawing something sexual by accident in these. It's not happened. I call this the bunny rabbit path. This is the bunny rabbit path. So again, we're going to take this cheap route down, going down this right hand side. Again, you can slightly tweak this either way you want to get better rewards for slightly more coins. That's totally fine. Then we come over here. We open up with our key. You need to go to the middle first. And you point that. Use your one key to open up the middle. We're going to come down, grab both avatars. This is the I want all the collectibles path, right? Get both, not avatars, both skins in the middle. Get the 2 legendary tomes and grab these 2 keys. And then you use those 2 keys to come down and grab the avatars as well. So yeah, this path is all about grabbing all of the unique collectibles to make your game as visually exciting as possible. So I'd say that's probably the least popular path, but I mean, a lot of people love visuals, so might be something people want to do. How expensive is it? That's the question. Pretty expensive is the answer. So to come down, really the big bulk of the price is this middle section right here. There's so much cost within these 4 items. It costs 51,000 to come down and through the middle. Then it is 10,000 for the primal shard in this avatar, and then obviously 8,000 for this avatar and a void shard, giving you a total cost of it is sexual in the end, 69,000. They got us. Raid played us for a fool. They thought they'd get away with it, but we caught them. 69,000. Yeah, I might be slightly wrong on some of the numbers in this. I don't think so, but broadly speaking, correct. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. I mean, like there's some good rewards in here. If I was to point out the main ones, like I do think that like all of the event points are very, very valuable. I think a 6-star chaos ore is very valuable. Like I said, I think these gems at the start are the best way to go. Then honestly, I think 100 massive brews is brilliant. A lot of people cannot do high levels of Sand Devil, right? And if you can't do high levels of Sand Devil, the only way to get these oils, I call them brews, they're oils, is through these events. And 100 is a pretty significant chunk. That's going to get a couple of pieces up to 6-star Awakened or Ascended or whatever it is. There's too many similar terms, like skins with different rarity names. You got oils and brews and ascending and I don't know, descending, everything. But yeah, they're good. They're really good. I mean, in Primal Shard, that's, you know, okay. The Essence is really good. Void Shard is always nice. You know, then honestly, all these skill tomes are great. And for me, like this stuff is great. The avatars, it sort of depends. Like this one is, I'll give this one a vote. This one gets a small vote just because they're unique. But I think there's a lot of good reward. I mean, that's about half the rewards in this event. You're actually like, oh, okay, that feels pretty solid. So yeah. What do you think about this one? What do you think? I honestly think that this is a pretty great event from Plarium in terms of the stuff in it. The stuff in it is fantastic. It's a fun little path. There's options, there's choices, lots of options between very cosmetic rewards. Um, yeah, I think in terms of path layout and stuff, it's a great event. That's super cool. My only concern is that it looks really expensive. You're probably going to need to summon all your souls, upgrade your champs and your artifacts. Let me actually summon my souls here for this one. Why the hell not? We've got 2 immortals. Let's go get me some coins to start this bad boy off. We're probably not going to get very far. We got a 3-star mistress. Okay, I was hoping that was the one cardinal who's somewhat useful. This looks like a bigger soul, maybe? Yeah, 6-star rear guard sergeant. I might actually keep that and put it on her. She's a cool champion. I think I will. Let's do it. YOLO. I'm a fan of this. Very important for any of the Deadwood Jedi faction game stuff that he does every year with content creators being invited. Want to make use of that. I guess we'll throw on the Mistress of Hymns. Mistress. Don't even know what she does. Don't think she's very good. So there we go. There's the 2 immortals. Then let's pull most of these mortals. We're going to run out of space. Let's see if we get anything good. 1,000 points here. Negorio's not terrible. Paragon 3-star. That's actually pretty all right. You can do some cheesy stuff. We've got a bunch of epics. Gerhard 4-star. Vergus 4-star. Vergus, actually quite nice. Seeker 2-star might be an upgrade for me as well. But yeah, Vergus is good. There's 2 legendaries. We've got 4-star Balinor. I don't have him, but that's great. 2-star Norog. He is such a terrible champion. He needs a buff. He gets shown up by epics. It's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing. Norog needs a buff. Another legendary. 1-star Kantra. I think I have her 1-star already, but we'll double check that. 4-star Yelagurna. Okay, whatever. Go again. No legendaries. 2-star Coldheart from the wish list. Not really impactful. Nothing much there. Farrakhan 1-star. I don't think I need. And legendary. 2-star Elder Skarg. Pretty underrated champion. He is decent. And then we've run out of space, but we can throw on some. Okay, so 2-star Elder Skarg. That's new. I like Elder Skarg. He's a great budget Hydra burner. Actually, this is a new awakening for Kantra, so that's actually pretty awesome. Give us some brimstones probably for that. It is new for Norog. That's pretty awesome too. He can now be rocking a 2-star blessing in the vault. Looking cool. Skull Crusher gets a 1-star blessing. Again, not too special, but not bad. One of my Cold Hearts to get a slight upgrade. We'll take it. Why not? Paragon, slight upgrade as well. Not too bad. So we're getting a few little upgrades in here. I have to say, I have actually been broadly enjoying these soul things, right? I do enjoy getting these souls. Hexweaver I used a ton at the start of the game because I was a massive noob and didn't know what I was doing. We could, yeah, you know what? We can give a 1-star blessing to a 2nd Farrakhan in case we need lots of ally attacks. It's only a 1-star. It's not a huge deal. Gerhard going from 3 to 4-star. You do get a reimbursement of your previous souls for doing that. For Ngiri, sure, why not? Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy getting like these champions and seeing that sort of progression happening. To me, it's actually fairly enjoyable. We have almost enough space. Pull the rest. Here we go. Let's pull. Not too much. Aox, 1-star. The thing's in the way. Corpulent Cadaver, 2-star. The Cadaver team is going to be popping off, boys. Let's go. Veteran, sure, why not? You can have an upgrade. You can have an upgrade. And then some stuff that we don't really need. A 2nd allure, I'll throw that on. And I think that gives us, if I was looking correctly, yeah, enough to pull the rest one by one. Let's do it. Why not? Legendary Elegias. I think that's a new soul. Always have another legendary. Oh, 1-star Zavia. Don't have her, but that's cool. That will go with my 4-star Bellinor that I also don't have. Got 1-star Hellfang. Man, 2 legendaries back to back. Can we get one more? Judge. Actually a really solid rare. I have a 6-star Awakened Judge already. He's great for secret rooms. Nice debuffs, nice damage. So turn meter boosts himself. And the final one is an epic champion. It is Urtikata, who's actually quite fun. Yeah, there we go. First Awakening for Urtikata. Cool. And 2-star Elegias. That, again, I don't really use, but hey. There we go. Elegias, unfortunately, already been buffed, so unlikely to be buffed in the future, having already received a buff. There is 3-star Sifi. Can I afford that? I need 110. Oh, we're 4 short. I think I still have some runs of Iron Twins. I better do that before it flips over. Get my Sifi in. Extra legendary event. Yes, we know about that already. But yeah, there you go, guys. That is the event. I think we've covered everything that we need to cover. Let's see how far that put me. 10,000 points. We know that's not going to get us very far. Let me grab the gems. Grab this. We're slightly short. I'm going to go for the legendary Chaos Ore and grab these points here. And then I've got to make some big decisions. For me, I have to say, I'm certainly leaning towards, because I can do it with silver, and I've got a lot of silver. For me personally, I think I will definitely go grab the Madame Sarah skin, because I don't have it. I have the Kale skin already, so I'm not going to do that one. I think I will grab the Sarah skin, and then I think I'll probably focus on the event points, and then try clean up probably this line here of stuff. I do like collecting avatars, but I probably won't do it. I don't know. Well, it depends how far my silver stretches, because I do have a lot of silver right now, so I could probably do it. But there you go. Oh, we've got Clan Boss has dropped. Oh no. Let's see. Come on, give us something good. Sacred Shard. There we go. 2 Sacred Shards to piss off the chat. A Void Shard. That will do. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. 2 Void Shards? Nothing. A rare boot. Terrible. Ah, content creator look is gone. See you next time.